Hi, I'm Isaac and you're watching Isaac's Bushcraft and Survival. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a homemade alcohol stove. As you can see, I have all the tools in front of me to make it, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need are a couple pop cans. As you can see, these are different ones than I had in the intro. That's because I wanted to have a more, root beer barrel look. You can use any color you want. This is just my personal preference for what color I'd like. What we're going to do is we're going to take a container roughly about an inch tall, and we're going to take a permanent marker and we are going to mark it. So what we're going to do to mark it is we're going to take it, we're going to twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, and twist it. And as we do that, as you can see, it marks it really, really well. That's going to be our cut line. So we're going to do the same thing for the other pop can. And as you can see, marks it just as well. What we're going to do next is we're going to take a knife. I'm going to put my, roll away here. I'm going to put my permanent marker away for now. But we're going to take our knife and we're going to stab it right about here. That way, what we can do is we can do this by cutting it with the scissors. We're just going to rough cut it and rough cut the top of the pop bottle off, the top of the pop can. I'm going to throw that away. Then we're just going to cut it and try to follow alongside this line. So as you can see, you just cut along the line. It's nice because it makes a nice straight cut, where you need to cut at, and you make a perfectly nice alcohol stove that way. And like I said, any color of pop can you want to suit whatever your favorite color is great. I'm going to set that aside. I'll do the same thing with this can. We throw away the extra scrap. Then we're going to take it and we're going to cut along that line again. That line, like I said, will help keep our cut straight, or as straight as possible. There. So we have that done. We're going to set those aside. What we're going to do is we're going to take a can, pop can. I'm thinking something like a Red Bull, or even this works fine. It's a little bit more narrow, as you can see, than these, which is what we need. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mark it. I'm just going to mark it a little bit above the base here with our permanent marker. Let's set our stuff aside here. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark it at the base. I'll show you why in a second. That'll be our line to follow when we need to cut it. So what we're going to do is we're going to stab it here. That way, when we cut it, we can just go in and rough cut it as well. Oh, actually, I ruined that one. Let me get a different can. It's always easy to get these cans. It's a great item to get. So I have another can here. I accidentally ruined the other one. What we're going to do is we're going to mark this one. We're going to mark it a little bit higher up. Need to find something that I can use to mark it better. I'm just going to use this container here, or this lid here that I have, and I'm going to mark it right over here at the right height, hopefully. Actually, what we could do is we could just cut along the edge here, because there's already a parallel line. I don't need to mark it, so that works good. So I can just stab it And I can mark it around the edge there. Keep cutting it. Cutting it until that piece comes off and we throw the bottom away. Then what we're going to do is we're going to follow along this makeshift line that we have here. Along the blue edge here. And then just kind of eyeball it, going down, not cut. There we go. Then we're just going to keep following that line. There we go. We have it cut good. What we're going to do is we're going to take what we used to measure the other cans here. We're going to use that to measure this, except we're going to add on about 1/4 of an inch because you're going to need the extra 1/4 inch for when you put it together. I'll show you why after a bit. Oop. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our permanent marker, lie it on here. We're going to twist it. That way we have the right height. We're not wanting to push down too hard, otherwise it'll make it shorter or longer than it actually is, depending. We're gonna take our knife, stab it. We're gonna rough cut this one off as well. And we can throw that piece in the garbage. And we're going to take this and we're going to follow that line that we just made. Sorry if it's a little bit hard to see. There's that black line. That's one we're following. It works good to cut along this. It makes sure that everything is even, everything's straight and all that. What we're going to do next is we're going to take these pieces here and I'm going to get them washed. First, I'm going to just show you quick what we're going to do is we're going to cut this straight here. That way we can measure it any size, going small or large. But for right now, what we're going to do is since I didn't get these washed out, so as you can tell, they still have pop residue in it that's dried. I'm going to take them and I'm going to wash them out and I'll be back with you. Okay, so we got these washed and clean. It helps a lot with when you put your fuel in if you wash them. But what we're going to do next is we're going to take it and pinch it, and we're going to wrap it in here. And what we want is we want the edge of this to fit right inside the edge of this groove right in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure it, kind of. We're going to pinch it and hold it and see how tight it fits. We want it to fit snugly, but not too tightly. If it fits too tightly, it's not good. Fits too loosely, well, that's not as big of an issue. But yeah, we're gonna hold it and check it. I'm gonna move it slightly up and that should be good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna staple it right on the edge here. And we're gonna see how that fits inside. I hope it fits good. Sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot to see if it works or not. That fits decent. It's not perfect, but you know, it will fit. Then what we're gonna do here is sometimes if it doesn't fit, which this one is a little bit tight, sometimes what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it, we're gonna pull it slightly, just a little bit slightly open further, so that's a little bit wider, and we're gonna staple it again. Once it's stapled, it's not going anywhere, but we're gonna see how that fits. That one's, like I said, tight. This end here is definitely less tight. And as you can see, we have a little bit of extra 1/4 of an inch. And you're probably wondering why that is, because that way when we put it on, as you can see, we want the edge of this one right here to line up with the bottom edge right there. And by doing that, you have this part that's gonna touch the inside of this lip here, just like it's sitting in the lip there. And that's why we did that. And also what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut 2 V-shaped slots out. And then we're gonna go across and do that over here. gets away from me. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna go across from the area that we just did, which is roughly about right here. We're gonna take it and cut it again. Cut another V out. Sometimes you get these little pieces that get stuck in there. Break them out and shake them out and they're gone. And then we're gonna cut another one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut 4 of these total. And that's to help allow the fuel to come into the jet area. I'll show you how it works. I might have to show you a side profile of it just so you can see kind of how it works. Or something like that, we'll see. But we're gonna cut another one here. And there, we got all 4 of these jet openings there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set it in here and do that. But before we do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bottom one and we're gonna crimp it. So we're gonna make little crimps like that all the way around. Maybe not quite as big, depending. You wanna go all the way down too, because otherwise it'll mess up how it goes together. A lot of times you can use a needle nose. I just use my thumbs. It seems to work pretty well. It just all depends. We're gonna see how it fits here. As you can see, it fits pretty well. We're not gonna push it all together yet because we still have a few other things we need to do. I'm just gonna add a few more extra creases just because it helps it fit in a little bit smoother, a little bit better. Same thing goes for the base here. You want to make sure it's bent just slightly in here at the base. As you can see, I dented it pretty well there. That's to help it fit inside the other one because they're otherwise the same size. So that's how we do that. Like I said, I'm not going to put those in yet. But for right now, that's how we do that. I'm going to add, like I said, a few more creases. Doesn't hurt. Otherwise, it starts bunching up and it'll make a very big, like, deep divot like that, and you don't want that. So, just a few extra dents. Okay. As you can see, it looks really wonky and weird, but that's meant to look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it, and we're going to take this piece here. Oh, there's a little extra piece in there, as you can see, the flap I got to get off. Don't want that in there. Come on. There we go. And we're going to take it and we're going to put it in. And we're going to take our top, and then we're going to take our top can. Sometimes these things are light, so they get hard to make sure you don't fumble around with it. And then you're going to push until the edges line up pretty well. Or until, as you close it, see, like right now, there's no give. It's tight. It's in there tight. You can't hear anything as you shake it. Because if you hear something as you shake it, it's loose. But as you can see, there's like sometimes little tiny dents, that's fine. As you can see, it's good. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a thumbtack and we're gonna poke holes. They're called vent holes. We're gonna poke them right, here's one. There's gonna be one there. Then we're gonna go opposite, do another one there. Then we're gonna go and do another one right. So we did one there, one there. We're gonna do one right across from them to the side right here. We're gonna do another. And the amount of holes you should aim for, come on, sometimes it gets difficult. Poke through. Sometimes you have to twist it. There we go, that helped it a bit better. Sometimes it depends. The amount of holes you do varies. The more holes you do, like obviously you wanna do at the very least, I'd say 6 to 8. Right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a hole right between each of these two there. There'll be one there, same here. And that one's tough. Come on, push through. There we go. And same thing here. And now we got 8 holes in our alcohol stove. And like I said, it varies how many holes you want to add to your alcohol stove, because if you add too little, I mean, it'll burn, but it won't burn or heat up. It won't heat up your stuff very effectively. So the way this works is the more fuel, so the less holes you have, the more fuel efficient it is, but also the less heat you're putting out, so it'll take forever to cook whatever you're cooking or boil water. The more holes you have, the faster you can boil water and cook, but the less fuel efficient it is. So with this one, I added 8 holes. I could leave it there. A lot of times though, I just put an extra hole right between the 2 holes that I just popped, which I think I'm gonna do that because that would be 16 holes, which is decent and better compared to 8. 8 will work, like I said, and it is technically more fuel efficient with 8 holes than with 16, but you're also not heating up your stuff as well. So with 16 holes, I usually like to do that. Like I said, it's not as fuel efficient as 8, but it gives off more heat so you can cook whatever you need to cook faster. And it also saves you time. So we have all 16 of our holes punctured in there. Now what we're gonna do for the center is we could do one of 2 things. We could just poke a few holes there, and then what you do is you set it on a pan and put alcohol around it and light it, and whatever alcohol is in here that you pour in will start evaporating and come out these jets. But what I like to do is I like to take it and take my knife, just twist it. Oh, wow, okay, that's sharp. Just twist a good hole in it. What I might do from there is I might take my Dremel tool and I'm gonna make a pretty big opening, because then you just pour your fuel in, you can see how much you have in, and you can light it straight in here and not have to set it on a pan to light it. I'll show you the differences between the 2 later. But for right now, I'm gonna get my Dremel tool and I'm going to show you how to grind it. So the Dremel bit that I'll be using, I have my Dremel ready here. But the Dremel bit I'm going to be using is just going to be a steel one that has teeth on it. If that gets too gnarly or jittery or shaky, I'm going to try using a grindstone instead. But we'll see. It depends on how it goes. Okay, so we got it ground out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and tap the back a little just to try and get rid of some of those metal shavings in there, because that could clog up the alcohol stove. You don't want to breathe in the dust. But no, the metal bit actually worked surprisingly well. It made a hole in it that I wanted. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour alcohol fuel into it. And when we do that, we'll light it straight from there. And eventually, once it heats up enough, out of these holes or jets, flames will come out, almost like a normal gas cooking stove. What I'm gonna do though, I think I'm gonna take a sanding bit or a sanding wheel just to go around and sand it, make it a little bit smoother. Because right now it's a little bit jagged, a little bit sharp. It just makes it a little bit safer to handle is all. So I'll just take a sanding drum or something like that. As you can see, that makes it a little bit more perfectly round. It's not quite as sharp. There's still maybe some sharp spots. It just all depends. But that's not too bad. Like, I can take my finger in there and not get cut. So that's how you keep it nice and open like that. Like I said, there's two different types you can make. I'll show you the other one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for making it. I'm going to show you it lit. I probably won't have as much lighting because you want to be able to see the flames, because what the fuel I'm using burns almost clear, like a very faint blue flame. So I'm gonna get that together and I will show you guys that. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so as you can see, we have both of our pop cans here. This is the one that I was gonna show you that doesn't have that big old opening. This is the one we just made. As I was saying in the beginning, I chose these cans because it gives it a barrel look. But anyway, as you look into it, you'll be able to see how much fuel's in this one versus this one. This one, you only pour it into that hole or opening, and then you have to set it on something to light it, which really gets annoying because, like I said, it's annoying to have to set it on something just to be able to actually light it. Because what you have to do for this one is you have to pour some liquid around the base to actually be able to, light it. So that kind of stinks about it, but there's not a lot you can do about that. I'm just gonna set it on this old dustpan that I have here, just for example, so I can show you how it lights. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use methanol, or basically what I use is heat. You can get this at any store, but it's pretty cheap for a 12-ounce bottle of it. Try to get it focused here. For a 12-ounce bottle of it, it's about $2, which is actually really decent. We're gonna use this as a fuel. We're gonna pour some into this one. I'm gonna pour probably half full or so. And then this one gets a little bit harder and trickier. As you can see, you're gonna have to pour it into the center. But also what we're gonna have to do is pour a little bit around the base. Try not to get on the plastic. Oops. Try to put something under it just to keep it up. There we go. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna light it. So as you can see, with this one, you have to have it in some sort of metal container. It takes a little bit for them to heat up fully. As you can see, the flame gets a little bit, harder to see. We'll see if that one will light up. I don't know. Come on. We'll see, I guess. I have to move it over a little bit. But the heat of it will cause the alcohol to evaporate, hopefully, to help it to ignite. That's the way this one's supposed to work anyway. Oh, yep, as you see, you just saw the jets there. What happens is the heat causes the alcohol to burn in there, and the jets will start to pop on. And as you can see, there are jets coming out starting now. As you can see, that one got going faster. I think the hard part about it is, like you said, you have to take something along with it just to light it on, versus this one, which is, as you see, it's an open flame. Eventually, as that one burns here, you'll see that it has flames just like that one. As you can see, this one's got huge flames on it. So yeah, that's the difference between it. Plus, if you do have any extra fuel, what you can do is you can snuff it out. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to burn it until all the fuel's gone. You don't have to do that. You can actually take something and cover it, and then it'll smother it, and you can take the extra fuel, pour it into the container, and then just pour it back into your heat bottle. So that's where it's effective. As you can see, that one's burning rather well. This one hasn't even jetted yet. Like I said, if you're in the woods, this one might be slightly better because you don't have to carry an extra piece to set this on to light it. Plus, the jets will eventually come on automatically. I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm just gonna let them burn for a little bit and I'll show you See, oh, as you can see, it's starting to get jets coming out. Takes a little bit longer, obviously, as you saw, than this one. I'm not going to do any cooking right now with these. I think in the next video that I show you, I'll be cooking with the alcohol stoves and showing you what to make with them. They work great for a lot of different purposes, but I'll show you that in the next video. As you can see, this one's starting to jet. Takes time. Oh, as you can see, it keeps popping out of those jets, and it looks almost like a gas stove. So if you set a tin container down, I'll show you this quick here. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible. What you can do is you can take it and set it on this one here. And what it'll do is, as you can see, it burns almost like a gas stove. So it boils water great. But like I said, that's the downside about this, is that, yeah, it works good, but you have to have something to set it on. This one, on the other hand, you just set your thing in there, you set your pot on, and as you can see, it's starting to heat up almost like a gas stove. So as you can see, the flames come out of those jet holes, and you can use it to boil water or cook whatever food you want to cook with it. So that's where these are great. Yeah. So yeah, that's where these come good. Like I said, I'll be showing you how to cook with these in future videos. As you can see, the flames burn good there. Once we take this off, you can see it burns really, really well there. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing, and I'll have more to put out. So yes, this is how they look when they're burning, and you can cook really well over it. So with the less amount of jets, like I said, you can put in 16. These are 16, so they have 16 flames. If you put in 8, like I said, it'll be more fuel efficient, but it won't be as hot as these. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.